Hi everyone, happy Wednesday and welcome to the final part of this planner. Yeah, it's quite a complex page really, isn't it? But we'll get there. We have got our last 4 to do, so that's rather fun. Again, I'm going to be using my Black Widows and I'm going to be using the same colours as the pictures above or similar. So let's start, let's put that somewhere near the middle. As always, let's start with the loopy bit. Here's the flat back, the hanger, I suppose it's called. So a little bit at the bottom there. I'm just going to put a bit there. Now we've got this bit as well. I'm just thinking maybe darker there and there, like that, and then our greythorn. I'm not telling you which Black Widow sets these are from because they're exactly the same ones as I used for the first video, so I'm sort of assuming that you would have watched that, but you can see it on the pencil anyway, and you don't have to use exactly the same ones, it's just a black and a cold grey. Okay, now we have got our holly design. I think what's going to be easiest with this one, excuse me, is to colour the holly first and then think about how to do the background after. So I am going to keep it really simple. I'm going to do the holly in lighter colours and the background in a darker colour. I haven't decided what colour yet. So I'm going to use the blood red for the berries. Let's just get going with those, and I'm not going to shade them or anything. Now normally with a berry I would use quite a lot of different colours. I would try and make them look darker where they overlap and around the edge to make them look round. They're so little, I'm just blocking them in with the lovely red. There we go, easy peasy. And then I'm going to use my Irish green for the leaves. Again, with holly leaves there are lots of different ways you can colour them. I vary it, but this year with the holly that I've coloured so far, I have tended to make it darker in the centre, like along there and on the edges, and make this bit here look like it's a little bit shiny. But you can do it so it's darker here and here with a shine across the middle. There are lots of different ways, but for this one I'm just going to block it in because it's not that big. Also, this is painted on a bauble. It's not supposed to be real holly, so it might just be flat painted. So that's how I'm going to do it. That's how I'm going to justify my laziness. Plus, it's a bit small for fiddling with. Oh, there's a train. It must be a goods train. We haven't got any trains today. That was odd. I'm just going to check the timetable. Hang on. No, nothing on the timetable. Must have definitely been a goods train. Goods trains run slightly differently because only one train company are on strike today, and they're the only passenger train company that services our local station. Then we haven't got any trains. So yeah, it must have just been a goods train powering through from somewhere. Obviously those don't appear on our timetables because they don't stop at the stations, and they don't take passengers, so it doesn't matter. But yes, I let my boys know that there was a train, and then they can just check their train timetable before they leave uni. They're gonna get the bus, I think. I've told them where to go, made sure they've got some money, etc. So hopefully it'll be good for them to do something a little bit different. Neither of them taken a bus home yet. One of them's got a bus in. This train was cancelled at the last minute. Now my background, I've got to choose. You can choose too. We've got either the burgundy or the opal green, and if we look up here we can see them. So this was the opal green. We haven't really got a burgundy showing. I think I'm going to use the burgundy, but you don't have to. You can use the opal green if you would rather. it's completely up to you. So I'm going to use the burgundy. What I'm going to do to start with is just put a light layer in all the gaps, and then I'm going to try and make it darker around the edge of our sphere so that it looks a little more like a sphere rather than a flat circle. Now I have coloured this particular bauble quite a lot of times, and I'm pretty sure I have, yes I do, I have a tutorial for it. I've got a whole Christmas playlist anyway, but I've got a tutorial for it with a gold background, which I think was rather pretty. I've also done it with a blue background, always with the holly in green and red, and that one was nice. I used it as a Christmas card, I think. Now I'm going to go around the edge a bit darker, and I sort of just want to fade it a little bit inwards. So yeah, I've done this a lot of times on the larger size one, not in fact one of them, I think, because this particular bauble was available as a download, Johanna did a sort of sheet of 4 ornaments that you could actually, the idea was that you coloured them in and hung them up on your tree, and I think this was one of them, so it was a bit bigger, so that made it a little bit easier. So she does have a few free Christmas downloads. There's a, yeah, there's a nice sort of mandala one with lots of little Christmas items in it, I think. Well, that's in the book actually, isn't it? I'm making it up now. Okay, I feel that it's darker here than on this side, so I'd darken it up a little bit more. I'm trying to think about now where I'm going to put the glitter. I'm thinking, do I put it around the edge of the holly or on top of the holly? I could use, actually, I think I'm going to use the see-through glitter pen and do it on top of all the holly and the berries. There we go. I'm going to leave that there so I don't spoil it. Okay, I've finished with those now. Excuse me, just sorting out my pencils. So this is the number 700 glitter pen. And as I say, I haven't done it. There's a tiny gap between those berries there. Pop a bit of burgundy in there. Probably can't even see. And just go over everything with the old glitter pen. Oh, it's nice having the house to myself for a little bit. I know it sounds a bit, ugh, you know, but it's just, I just feel so much more relaxed knowing everybody's where they should be, taking responsibility for themselves. As much as I like looking after people, and they need looking after, particularly my husband, I'm so used to looking after them because I've always had to look after my husband, make him his packed lunch, you know, all that sort of thing, do his washing and ironing and things. He just can't cope otherwise, and it's just nice to just have myself to please, and just making a little video, my own pace, having a bit of fun on my own, and yeah, it's rather, I'm hoping, I was actually wondering whether to take a couple of days on strike, not quite, well, when everyone's on holiday, they've all got a couple of, well, my boys have got, there you go. I'm not going to do around the edge because I think this is a sphere. Now this one is gold. Let's have a think while we do our silver bit. So back to our flat black. I thought maybe I could not do any chores for a few days and get everyone else doing it, but the boys have got work due in. My son's got an exam to, one son's got an exam to rise for, the other one's got 2 essays, and yeah, so they probably won't have the time. But husband's got 2 weeks off work. He finishes on the 15th and he's taking 2 weeks and a day. I think there's a bank holiday for New Year's. thinking, should I turn it off and have a long think? No, let's go for it. I am gonna do a gold sphere. So I'm starting with my chocotone. So yes, he's got 2 weeks off from the 15th, and the boys have got 4 weeks off from the 15th. So, but one has got an exam in the middle of that. I think it's on the 12th of January, not sure. But the other one's got essays due in on the 3rd and 5th of January. I'm really hoping that he can get it done before Christmas, but one of them he's barely started because he's been working on the others that he's handed in now. I think that's quite enough of that. I'm going to grab some mud, not literal mud. Gosh, it's gone really dark. I think it's going to rain. Oh, just heard a big clatter. Sounded more like it was inside the house, but because we're in the mid terrace, we've got houses either side of us. It's often, whoa, huge gust of wind. Often my neighbours make a bit of a noise, a bit of clattering. Oh wow, I can hear all the leaves blowing about. It's so windy. It's lucky I didn't organise to see my friend today because she would have cancelled. She's dark tan. She cancelled on me the other week. We're going to get together because she's got a bad back and struggling to walk against the wind. You know, it's not good, and she feels unsafe, and that's fine. It's you've got to look after your health. But we're going to get together again soon, I think, which will be nice. I've been socialising a bit more lately. It's been nice. I think coming up to Christmas, tend to. So last week I saw an old school friend that I haven't seen for over 10 years, which was lovely fun, really good coming. And we follow each other on Facebook, so we know what each other are up to a little bit. Is it then? I think it's the egg yolk next. And we sort of, it's one of those friendships where when you see each other you just chat, and you could just chat forever, you know, so that's nice. So we do that. And she also works in a place that my husband sometimes works, so she knows him. And so they get on too, which is nice. He wasn't there when she came round. Because she works part-time, so she could come round. Nugget. She could come round in the middle of a day when he was at work. I want to leave a little bit of white or uncoloured space in the centre, but not too much. And I'm not really showing you anything that I haven't shown you already, because this is very similar to the top row one, but we're probably, I'm just thinking about the glitter, where to put it. I might do it a little bit differently, because on the first one we just put glitter over the lines. I think this one will fill in some gaps. So this is number 703, which is our gold glitter. What I'm going to do is do something like this, you know, fill in the whole of this and the whole of this and the whole of this. Oh, that's a big area. Never mind. We're doing a lot of glitter on this one. Hopefully it'll work. My goodness, it is so windy. My garden's going to be full of leaves. I can hear something fluttering. I think it's just the leaves, but I'm not sure. Oh, it's probably that tarp in my neighbour's garden, isn't it? I can hear fluttering. Oh, he'll be keeping an eye on it. He's there today. He was working on it yesterday. It's quite good actually that he's not doing it today, because it would be noisy. It's nice and quiet, so I can make a video without worrying about the noise. Try and decide what to do next after this page with regards to the rest of the week's videos. I have had a request to do a Maria Trolle page. I'm going to have a look at that. I may not do it this week because I think it's more of a winter rather than a Christmas page, so it could sort of wait until after Christmas or between Christmas and New Year, you know. I'll have to see. And it's also quite a complex looking one that I need to think about. It's got snow in it and I need to think about how to best do that. Right, let's tip that up and see how it looks if I've missed any. I think I've done it. Oh, there you go. Now, let's move across to this one. So let's start with our black again. Flat black. There we go. And then greythorn. Just going to leave that top bit without any colour. Like that. Now this is our pink and purple. It's quite complex, isn't it, this one? I think it might be best to just do a background and then I'm thinking, because we did purple then pink, maybe this should be a purple background, but I'm wondering whether to use a slightly lighter colour. So we've only got two here. I'm thinking either the tulip or the purple haze. Probably the purple haze is our best one. This is from the Cobra set. I'll show you. Oh, it's broken. Just going to sharpen it in my dowel. So this is the purple haze. And she spits on the page, how vile. Sorry. I'm going to do the background in this. Now I'm not sure about the inside of these shapes yet, so I'm going to leave them for a minute and just do the main area and then have a think about those. Sounds like the wind's died down a bit, which is good. My son's just said his tutor has looked at his essay and he says it's worth 65%, and he needs to add in a few more sources, less description in the introduction, and then he'll get a better mark. And then he'll get a first, so that's good. I thought he needed less intro. If it's the essay, I think it is. I think it might be one that I looked at and I thought that. But, of course, I don't. What do I know? I'm just looking at that. I'm wondering whether I should colour in... I don't know. I'm going to go grab the grape and do the outside. I want this to be darker and then sort of fade it in. I can hear an aeroplane now. It's all going on. Right, I am also thinking about whether to use more than one shade of pink for this one. I'm going to go back to my purple haze and just tidy that up a little. You may find you may not need to do this, it just depends how neat you did it to start with or how fussy you are. really. There we go. So I think I'm going to use this fancy pink. This is, yeah, I think this is it quite, just looking at my pink selection, this is quite a dark pink. I'm going to use this for these bits. Quite dark. Yeah, I'm just going to do all the sort of line bit first. The sort of outlines, I need to sharpen this. Oh, there's a lead in my sharpener. These aren't sharpening very well at the minute. They like the dowel better than a handheld sharpener. And this handheld sharpener isn't blunt. There we go. It worked this time. Although actually the Cobra set are a little bit temperamental for breaking. I think it was because they were posted from quite far away. They travelled. And one of them actually arrived broken. But they did pretty well. And so if I use my dowel sharpener, they're fine, they're happy. I can do the outline of all these sort of teardrops. Oh, wind's back. It's very gusty today. I can hear that tarp blowing again, flapping around. Okay, now I think what I'm going to do is these centre bits I'm going to do in a lighter pink, but these bits that are on the outside I'm going to do in this pink. I don't know why. That's just what my brain is telling me I want to do. Now, I'm still not sure whether to do that bit in purple or pink. I think I will do it in pink. We have those bits too. Those bits, I think that's all of it, but we'll find out when we pick it. So I want a lighter pink. Now in the skin tones there is a blush. I think that's quite pale. I'm just going to try it out. I think that'll work. It is really quite pale. Which of course is what you need in your pale skin tones. And I think it's showing up enough. I'm just layering up a little bit. So that it's quite salmony, isn't it, though? It's not a pretty pink. So maybe I need to put a bit of pink on top of that. I think I will. It's not quite the colour I was hoping for. What do we have? What's that? Hang on. We have a fairy floss. Yeah, that's better. But it is very dark. Look at that. So I'm going to use it really lightly on top. Just to try and create a slightly pinker, less salmony sort of look. I don't know if it's going to work that well. But there we go. Okay, now let's think about our glitter. I think I'm going to use the clear glitter. Where's my brush? Oh, here it is. I'm going to use the clear glitter, the 700, on top of just the swirly lines. I'm going to say it. I just thought of it and then I thought, should I say it? Yes? I think you can overdo glitter if you're not careful. She said it. She said it. So I'm going to just do it on that bit and see how that looks. go. I'm going to leave it. You can do more if you want. I'm not. Now we have our whoops. Hang on, my pencils are in the way. Can't move into the middle. There we go. We have our robins. Now we're using our blues, and we start with the black as always though. Flat black for our hook, whatever you want to call it. And then the greythorn. Now I think it's time for me to say well done to everyone who has stuck with me and is colouring these, because it's quite a mammoth page, it feels like. Right, blue. Now we've got like a sky, and we've got like a base, and we've got like branches and birds, so we've got lots of colours, so we've got potential to do quite a big. I'm going to do the lightest colour I think for what looks like our sky, so I'm going to use the blue heaven. Is that the lightest one, or is forget-me-not? No, blue heaven's lightest. I should just argue with myself, bear with me. And I'm going to try and make it a little darker here, and then lighter towards the centre. Take your time with this, I am quite quick. And it's a little bit fiddly. You notice I'm colouring right over the top of these snowy bits. That's because I'm going to do those in glitter at the end. You may have guessed. Go all around these little birds. Keep it light in the middle. Pretty sure I have got a video of this one. It's a silent one though. I think I've got a few silent videos where I recorded when it was too noisy in the house to use sound, before I sort of started using this room. Now the bottom bit, hang on, I just to do that. I'm going to do with forget-me-not, so it isn't significantly darker. Sorry, I'm trying to make that so you can see it, but it is. But it will look a little bit darker, so you can see it's a different colour. And we'll use the dark bits for the detail, so they stand out. I think can work. I can hear a siren now. We do live quite near to the hospital though, so we often hear them. But being in quite a smallish town, it's, you know, we feel quite safe. There's been a spate of car burglaries, but we know who it is. Everyone knows who it is. But the police just haven't managed to catch them. It's a bit annoying, but anyway. Blue horizon next for our swirls and sort of branchy bits. Yeah, this person has already been in prison for car burglaries. What they basically do is they try all the car doors, and if they're open, they take things from inside. The most recent one, there was some cash in the car and some sunglasses which were stolen. People often leave coins in their cars for car parks. Although car parks are getting more and more likely for you to need to use a credit card or an app to pay, the ones around this area still use coins, so people might keep a handful of change in your car or whatever. But yes, this person went to prison, but obviously didn't learn their lesson. This is Zephyr Blue. I think they're sadly using it to buy drugs and things. It's a shame. We need to try and find a solution to help people. It's very difficult. I'm sure it's a problem across the world. Galaxy blue. I feel sorry for people who are addicted and their families. But also sympathy for those affected by, addiction in a negative way, blue heaven, who, have been robbed from or whatever. It affects a lot of people. It's not nice. But I know that, you can have a personality where you're more likely to be addicted, or you can have a background where you are as well. Right, Gellyroll. I'm going to use the 700, the clear one, and do my snow. It's so small. You could use the silver for this too. I probably would. I was tempted to, but I haven't used silver anywhere else, so I feel like it would look a bit strange. You could also use blue, of course. I could have used blue, but I'm not. Too late now. I think I'm going to go down here. I'm actually going to not do that as dotty. I'm going to do it as a solid line, just because it's easier for me. Like that. Oops. And then across this line here. And that's all I'm going to do. You can do more or less. You can do your robins, you can do your swirly bits, whatever you wish, but I shall just turn that up so you can see. Tip that up, sorry, so you can see. There we go. Wow, that's our last one. Let's come out and see the full page. Well done if you've done that. It's a tricky page, I have to say. And there we go. I'm saying well done to myself. There we are. There's all the baubles finished. So thank you so much if you watched the whole thing, and if you joined in, I hope you enjoyed it, or whether you coloured it your own way or my way, whatever. I hope you had fun with it. It was a long page, but I really enjoyed it, so I hope that you did too. Yes, thank you so much. Have a super day, and yes, please remember to subscribe, like and comment. I always forget to say that, and apparently I should say it on every video, but that's a bit boring. Anyway, please do, and thank you to those that do already. It's really appreciated, and happy colouring.